Coming up on Activate Live, it's National Apprenticeship Week, here directly from an IAM apprentice. If you're a union member, you're an organizer. Learn what you can do to help. Our very own labor band, Union Nation, just released its second CD, Wake Up, Rise Up, Stand Strong. We have a band member to tell us all about the new music. And the IAM's Basic Communicators class is our studio audience. Find out about the class next on Activate Live.
Activate your voice.
Activate it now.
Voice activation.
Live from Maryland, this is Activate Live.
Welcome to Activate Live. We're coming to you from Machinist Union headquarters in Upper Marlboro, Maryland. I'm Tanya Hutchins, and today, as you see and hear, we have a live studio audience. It's our Basic Communicators class. They traveled from the William W. Wimpesinger Center in Hollywood, Maryland, which is about an hour south of the Grand Lodge, and we thank the class for being here. We'll hear all about the class later in the show. But first, let's bring in the communications representative, Delane Adams. Delane, what's going on?
Oh, so much is going on now. The big thing is the GOP tax plan. President Martinez recently sent a letter urging Congress to vote against this plan. This plan is a bad plan for sending jobs overseas. They actually encourage corporations to send jobs overseas by offering incentives. And one last kicker for unions, union dues will no longer be tax deductible.
Oh, you're kidding me.
So that's just one of the pieces of this tax plan that's bad for working families.
So not only is it an attack on American workers, it's also an attack on unions.
Attack on unions, and we've so this weekend, and it's just right. It's just a great cause. And then we end with the golf tournament and the banquet on Saturday night. So this is God Dogs of America. It was started in 1948 by a machinist, and so this is a charity that's near and dear to our hearts.
Yes, and it gives us a good feeling just helping, because part of our mantra is service to the community, and we're really,
And if you want a good feeling, you can credit me later, but they have a puppy camp, God Dogs Puppy Camp. So if you want to look at the puppies being raised in that environment, just go to the God Dogs of America website and look for the puppy camp. And I'm telling you, it'll make your day, especially if you're having a rough week.
Okay, I'm going to be addicted to that because I'm a dog lover. But thank you so much, Delane.
Thank you.
We'll see you next week.
All right, take care.
Thanks. Well, it's National Apprenticeship Week. Now, I did an apprenticeship in Boston when I got out of college, and it was a great experience to learn from people who were doing the job that I wanted to do. I received hands-on training from union members who were news reporters, writers, and producers. Well, let us know if you're in an apprenticeship or if you've completed one by commenting on this video. Just let us know which program you were in and where. So comment now if you've been through an apprenticeship or you're in one now. Now, Apprenticeship Week is a national celebration that offers leaders in labor, education, and business a chance to support apprenticeship. So we'd like to highlight the fact that the IAM believes strongly in apprenticeship training to help create a highly skilled workforce. It's a practice machinist union started using more than 100 years ago. On-the-job training. Now, apprentices can train in a number of different industries, including manufacturing, transportation, service and retail, military, public sector, telecommunications, information technology, and healthcare, just to name a few. There are more than 37,000 program sponsors who represent more than 250,000 employers, and those employers train more than 440,000 apprentices. Now, I'm wearing a shirt from Mechanics Local 701, which runs an automotive apprenticeship program in the Chicago area. Now, this apprenticeship program has received a lot of credit lately and a lot of publicity. The local has a state-of-the-art facility for technician training where students attend classes that is also involved in giving back to the community. So we're so happy about that local in the Midwest territory. And to give you a firsthand account of what an apprenticeship is like, someone who went through a program is joining us now. Odonis Rodriguez is joining us out of the Eastern Territory. Thanks for joining us, Odonis. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
There he is. Tell us which program that you took part in last year.
I took part in the automotive program in Union County.
And how long did that program last?
It lasted 4 years, but I completed it in 2.5.
Oh, that's great. Tell us a little bit about skills.
The program, I went to school twice a week for about 4 to 6 hours. It took little to no time to get there. Everything was provided to us. I learned a lot. Learned everything in the field was touched based on, from transmissions to brakes to everything was touched on. So it was nothing that was missed.
So this was hands-on training. You were doing the work.
Yes, everything was hands-on. Everything, literally. Exactly what I'm experiencing in the field right now is what I experienced in school.
So tell us where you're working now.
I'm working at Hudson Toyota. I've been a worker there for 5 years now.
Now, looking back, it's been a year since your apprenticeship. You know, how do you feel 1 year into the job?
It was honestly it was better than what. I felt like I was more trained than most of the guys that started working there.
So better prepared.
Exactly.
Any advice for a person who's looking for an apprenticeship?
Just dive in and don't be afraid. Just dive in and give it your all. You'll gain a lot out of it. It's a great opportunity. I didn't pay anything out of pocket, so it's you can't lose. You just give it your all, work hard, and everything will fall into place.
Well, Adonis, you are one of our success stories, and we thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
That was Adonis, a machinist in our Eastern Territory. And if you're just joining us, it's National Apprenticeship Week, and we're asking anyone watching who's been through an apprenticeship or is in one now to comment, to tell us which one you're in and where, or which one you have done. There are machinists and apprenticeships in various locations. We have some photos from Western New York, where there's an American Apprenticeship Initiative with the Western New York Apprenticeship Alliance. An Industrial Manufacturing Technician Forum was held last month, and the IAM was a sponsor. The Machinists Union and the United Steelworkers worked together with Erie County to develop the forum. The goal of the forum was to bring together companies that aren't using the apprenticeship yet. So it has helped companies create career pathways and fill the skills gaps in their plants. So for more information on apprenticeships, contact the IAM Apprenticeship Department here at headquarters. And you'll find information online at our website, goiam.org. That's goiam.org. You can also contact your district or territory office. So don't forget, you can comment about apprenticeships right on our Facebook page. I have it right here on my computer, and lots of people are joining us. I want to give a shout out to Mike King. He says hello. And just tell us what you think about National Apprenticeship Week. Well, next, we're going to organizing. It's one of the top priorities in the Machinists Union. We all consider ourselves organizers because we all want to improve working conditions and quality of life for everyone working in North America. Now, just one call from a shop floor to an organizer in one of our territories or here at headquarters can change lives. And joining us now is Jason Woodward from our organizing department. Thanks for being here, Jason.
Thank you for having me.
Why is organizing so important?
Wow, that's a good question. How much time do we have?
You got 5 minutes.
Okay. No, organizing is important for a number of reasons. But I guess, two really jump out in my mind. And the first is pretty simple. The more we organize, the more we grow, the stronger we are. And that's strength at the bargaining table, that's strength in the hands of workers, and that's strength in state legislators around the country and in the halls of Congress. And, that means better jobs, better working conditions, and policies that help everybody, not just the wealthy and corporations. And the second thing that really jumps out to me is organizing is important because it's really just the right thing to do. We as machinists and we as union members are very fortunate to have the backing of a collective bargaining agreement and the backing of a strong union. And, part of me just truly believes that it's our obligation to help others achieve the same and really try and lift everybody up.
And sometimes a lot of non-union members don't really realize what they're missing until something happens on the job where they need help and support.
Exactly.
Any tips out there for new organizers?
Well, I guess I would start by saying, every campaign's a little bit different, right? They each have their own unique sets of opportunities, their own unique set of challenges, and they're all the same. They're all their own beast. So it's about being creative, it's about being flexible, and it's about being strategic. Now, with that said, there are certain things we can do that we know can help foster success. It's always important to engage with the workers and really help them take ownership of their campaign and help them understand that they are the union. It's going to be as strong as they make it. Face-to-face conversations are still very important. They're becoming harder to facilitate, but that's how you really create personal connections and really build trust with folks. And it may seem simple, but listening is another one. It's easy to walk in somewhere and think we know what their issues are, but we really don't until we listen to them and ask them questions. And finally, I just end with we have the communicators in the class. Mm-hmm. I would offer that communications is very, very important. Once you know what the issues are, put together a strong message and figure out the best platforms and mediums to deliver that message.
That's one of the things we were talking about in the class earlier this week is communications is so important, whether it's in a work relationship, a personal relationship. It's just very important. It's so hard to do.
There are so many ways to communicate now. It's amazing.
Now, more than half of the states in the country in the U.S. right now are now right to work. So what does that mean for organizing?
Well, I guess I would say it makes organizing all that more important. Internal organizing, just like any other organizing, is about growing the membership and growing our strength, and that's going to mean better jobs and more power in the hands of workers. So I guess I would offer, if you are working in a right-to-work state and you're working in an open shop, don't be afraid to talk to somebody about why you're a proud union member and what the union has done for you. And don't be afraid to engage somebody and talk to them about why they're not members.
Now, we have a graphic up there that showed that wages go down in right-to-work states. And I guess a lot of people that are in the right-to-work states are used to making what they're making, but they learn a lot when they compare it to states that don't have right-to-work laws.
Exactly. And there's one thing that makes wages in a right-to-work state go up, and that's a collective bargaining agreement.
All right, so we're going to fight for that.
Yep.
What about young workers when it comes to organizing?
Well, that's another good question, because organizing young workers is something that I'm very invested in. I really feel like if we're going to be as strong as we are today, 10, 20, 30 years down the road, we really need to start engaging with young workers more. And I guess that's twofold. The first piece is engaging with the young workers that we do have and activating. And I just have to say that the Young Machinist program has done an outstanding job with that. But then the flip side is engaging with young workers who are not members. And we go out to these different shops and we talk to folks. In my experience, I found that young workers often don't have a predetermined view of what the union is or what the union does. So they're very much open to a conversation. So for us, it gets back to listening and engaging with them and figuring out how we can engage them further down the road.
I wish they would still teach kids about unions in school, starting in elementary school. If I ever go to career days, I say it. So I say to every union member out there, if you have the opportunity to talk at a career day in elementary school, middle school, high school, do it so they can hear, what unions are about.
Exactly, and that's one of the reasons the piece on the apprenticeships is so great, because that's another way to talk to folks about who we are and what we do.
Now, if someone wants to jump in and help when it comes to organizing, how can they do that?
Well, there's a couple ways. What I like to tell people is we're all organizers. It's going to take all of us. So, if you're at the bar on a Friday night, or if you're at your kid's soccer game on the weekend, or wherever you are, whatever you do, talk about what the IAM has done for you and what your union job has done to improve your life. And, I think if we all start doing that, all start becoming a little more vocal, maybe we start to change the conversation a little bit, change the narrative. And if you're looking for ways to get involved beyond that, you can talk to your local leadership about volunteering for an organizing campaign. I believe we also have a form on goiam.org right now where you can also volunteer for organizing. And if you haven't taken the classes at the Harbor, the organizing classes there are top-notch, and I'd encourage folks to take those as well.
They're very popular.
They are.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Jason. We appreciate it. Well, in 2012, 24 IAM members who were also musicians gathered at our training center in Southern Maryland to create new original labor music. A year later, the group recorded its first CD, simply called Union Nation, and I have a copy right here. So it was a double CD set with music covering all genres. And 4 years later, Union Nation has released its second CD, Wake Up, Rise Up, Stand Strong. It's a way for union members to communicate workers' issues in a different manner. Now, Bill Kent has been with the band since the beginning. Bill is joining us from Toronto. Thanks for joining us, Bill. There he is.
Hey, Tanya. Great to be here.
Thanks. Tell everyone how this entire idea stemmed from a class project.
Henry Bagwell was teaching a class at a Nashville singer-songwriter, a former Nashville singer-songwriter named talented guy, and as part of a presentation for the class, formed it for the class, and Henry sort of picked up on the idea and said, this is a great idea, a great way to our message, particularly to the young people, that we are struggling to inform about who we are and what we do.
Now, I know on the first album you had a song that was How Can We Let This Go On? Tell us a little bit about how you went about writing that.
Well, it was, it came about as a sort of as part of a frustration with what was occurring in my. We had a CEO at the time who took a $5 million bonus at a time when our employees had not had a raise in 10 years. So, it frustrated me and it sort of caused me to put my thoughts down on paper. It's actually, as you know, it's actually a rap tune, which is kind of interesting for a guy my age. But needless to say, it got out the message.
What was your role on this CD, and how does this one feel different than the first one?
Well, my role, firstly, of the CD, I'm on it as well, and to help bring in the music business 30 years, and practice with organizing musicians and as well arranging songs and producing material. So that was my primary role, and then from there on we did the recording and the mixing, and I've been involved with all of it from the beginning.
What kind of feeling is that to get together with other union members to create new labor music?
It's indescribable. It's absolutely amazing when you get a group of people from all over North America who've never met and who have the opportunity and create music, in such a short period of time, and then work to put this project together. It's really an unbelievable experience.
Oh, that's great. Well, we appreciate the time, but before you go, I'm going to let you just give a shout out to anybody on the album or just say whatever you want about this new CD.
Listen, folks, you really need to take the time to listen to this project. There is something for everyone on this CD. There's country and reggae and rap and many talented guys from all over North America. Big thanks to Henry Bagwell in particular, who helped orchestrate this whole thing, and to all the people who participated. Thank you again.
Well, thank you, Bill. And just a reminder to everyone that you can download the music from unionnation.com. That's union and then ATION.com. You can also order the physical CDs, and you can also like the Union Nation Facebook page to learn more about the band, which got its start at the William W. Wimpesinger Education and Technology Center in Hollywood, Maryland. Now, one of the classes available there to IAM members is our Basic Communicators class, which covers research, writing, desktop publishing, and creating a union web page. I can't talk today. We're so happy to have this week's class as our live studio audience. Students are here from all over, and one of our studio audience members is here to tell us all about the class. So Sheridan Stevens is here. Sheridan, first tell us where you're from, what local you're from, and what you do.
Well, I'm from Monterey County, from a little town called Marina, but I work at the Naval Postgraduate School, where I'm part of Local 1690 of National Federation for Federal Employees, or NEFI for short.
And what is your day job?
My day job, I am an office assistant, clerk, student trainee. I just recently graduated from Monterey Peninsula College with my AS degree in Business Secretarial.
Congratulations.
The Pathway Internship Program allows me to do, working there at the Naval Postgraduate School, and I love it. And now I'm on my way to getting my bachelor's degree.
Excellent.
As of August of 2018.
Great.
Completing it.
You're a busy woman.
Very busy.
So tell us a little bit about the class and what you've learned this week.
Well, I've learned a little bit about how to use my cell phone better in being able to capture photographs so that I can post it to our local Facebook page for NEFI. And I'm going to be learning a lot more about what I can legally do coming up in the next session tomorrow. It's just It's just been an eye-opener for me because I'm probably like one of the first communicators for my local union, because we're trying to improve ourselves, become stronger, and so hopefully being a communicator and being in this position, I can help do that.
Well, we're so glad that you have these tools that you're learning.
Yes, very much.
This week. So what are you going to take back to your local? What do you plan to do if you've thought that far ahead yet?
I plan to sit down with my executive board, find out what direction they want to head, what kind of photographs they want me to take, how I can use my communicating abilities through Facebook, through other social medias, through developing a newsletter that we can pass out, that we can have out for people to take. Letting them know what's going on and how to improve our communications there at the Naval Postgraduate School.
Was this your first class at the Wimpisinger Center, or had you been there before?
No, this is my second. I was with the Federal Young Leader Program back in 2014 in June. And so the place really made a wonderful impression on me. The people made a wonderful impression on me, and I always look forward to whenever I can come back.
For anyone who wants to take a class there but has never been there before, what can you tell them about this union benefit?
Well, it's wonderful training. I want to take the leadership training, also the advanced communicator class, so I can learn more and have more advanced knowledge of being better communicating. I would, tell anyone to take like maybe a leadership class to understand more about the union, what the benefits are being a part of a union. I got involved with the union around November of 2010 when I found out about it at the Naval School, and I'm glad I'm part of a strong company of people, and so I would hope that I could point people that are wanting to be union members to taking a leadership class there, to understanding what it means to be part of a union, and also communicating that out as being the communicator there at the Naval School.
So you're at least a 7-year-old union member. We're so glad to have you.
Thank you.
And we're so glad that you took these courses and spoke about them today.
Yeah, I look forward to taking more.
Anything else you want to say to fellow union members out there?
Encourage your members to fill the positions that are part of the Constitution, like the communicator. Another one I kind of am interested in is the educator program. Thank you.
It helps to have an audience.
Yes. And just, if you want to be a shop steward, take the shop steward classes, learn how to be a good shop steward, learning how to talk to your union members. There are just so many wonderful positive things that can come from it. From being there at the Wimpisinger Center, being in communication with others that are seeking the similar goals, to being helping the unions being stronger. We need it now more than ever.
Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Sheridan. And we'd like to thank everyone in the Basic Communicators class for being here. They've come from all over, different states, and they're going to be here for a few minutes. They took a tour of headquarters earlier today. Well, before we leave, we'd like to make you aware of some events we have coming up on our calendar. Many of us are heading to the Ontario Federation of Labor Convention. That's in Toronto. That is November 19th to the 24th. The Quebec Federation of Labor Convention is in Montreal, November 28th to December 5th. The Washington Council of Machinists meets December 7th to the 9th. So we hope that you can make these events. I'm actually heading to Vegas to help video record some of the events that are going on this week, starting tomorrow through Sunday for Guide Dogs of America. So thanks again to our studio audience. We're hoping that you join us again. And I'm hoping that everyone in the audience will go back and comment on Facebook or hit a reply on Twitter or chat on YouTube to let us know what they thought about the experience of being in our studio. Tell us what they thought about some of the topics that they heard on apprenticeships or on organizing. We'd like to get the interaction going with some of our members and even our non-union members to learn about unions. Well, please join us next week when we recognize Native American Heritage Month, and we're going to learn about council fire. Council fire. I really can talk. I'm trying. It's the Council for First Inhabitants' Rights and Equality, and that was founded by a machinist union member. So tune in next week. Thank you for joining us. You can always follow us on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube. Like, share, post comments. We really love hearing from you. So we'll see you next week.